This is Tales and Whispers, where every story is felt, not just heard.
Today, we're diving into a story about unimaginable loss, a search that seems impossible, and a type of hope that, honestly, seems to defy time itself. Just picture that for a second. This isn't some hypothetical question. It is the shattering reality that one woman lived with, day in and day out for over 3 decades. So let's go back. Our story starts in 1988 in Xi'an, China, with a moment that was so ordinary, it's actually terrifying. A single fleeting instant that would kick off a 32-year journey. And it's the simplicity of this moment that's just so devastating. It's 1988, a father and his 2-year-old son, Mao Yin, they're on their way home. The little boy's thirsty, so his dad stops just for a second to get him some water, and in that 1 second, Mao Yin is gone, vanished.
So what happened? Well, he was abducted. He was taken hundreds of miles away to another province, Sichuan. He was given a new name, a whole new story, and raised by a different family, with absolutely no memory, no clue that his real mother was waking up every single day asking just one question: where is my son?
So what do you do when your entire world just collapses in an instant? For Mao Yin's mother, Jingzhi, the answer was actually pretty simple. You start searching, and you never, ever stop.
32. I mean, just let that number sink in. That's not a typo. 32 years. That's a lifetime. It's an entire generation. Can you imagine dedicating that much of your life to a single burning hope? And this gives you just a tiny glimpse into the sheer scale of that search. Li Jingzhi quit her job. That was it, her full-time mission now. She traveled across more than 20 provinces in China. She handed out thousands upon thousands of flyers with her son's picture on them. She went on TV shows, not for fame, but just to keep his face out there. She slept on chairs and train stations, all to follow leads that time and time and time again just broke her heart. But she never gave up.
So how did she keep going? Every single morning after another painful dead end, this was the thought that got her out of bed. The simple, powerful belief that fueled her through decades of disappointment. Maybe today. But you know, something really remarkable happened right in the middle of all this. Liz's personal quest started to transform into something bigger, something that would end up changing the lives of dozens of other families. As she was traveling, she kept meeting other parents just like her, mothers and fathers who were lost in what she called the same fire of grief. And instead of just staying isolated in her own pain, she decided she had to help them.
And this was such a crucial pivot. You had her personal grief, right? This all-consuming search for Mao Yin. But running right alongside it was this new public mission. She somehow managed to channel her own agony into a force for good, joining an organization that was all about reuniting missing kids with their families. And get this, the number is it's astounding. 29. While her own son was still missing, Li Jingzhi helped bring 29 other children home. She would cry tears of joy with those families, celebrating their reunions without a single hint of jealousy, and then she'd go right back to looking at the picture of her own son and continue her search. And then, after 32 years of searching, of helping, of hoping, a door that had been sealed shut for decades finally began to creak open. It all started in 2020 with a small, simple tip. Just one of countless leads she had followed over the years. But this one was different. So the police started investigating a man who was living in Sichuan province, the very same province her son had been taken to all those years ago. And they took the one step that could provide a definitive, undeniable answer: a DNA test. It was him, a perfect match. After 11,680 days of searching, Li Jingzhi's son, Mao Yin, had been found. On May 18, 2020, a 34-year-old man stood before his mother. She just ran to him, held him, and sobbed. She said she recognized him instantly by his eyes, the exact same eyes she had pictured in her mind every single night for 32 years. So, what do we even take away from an incredible story like this? Because it's about so much more than a miraculous reunion. It's a really profound lesson about what hope actually is. This quote, this perfectly captures the philosophy that came out of her journey.
It's not about passively sitting around waiting for things to get better. It's all about active hope. It's patience combined with relentless, nonstop action. Her journey really shows us exactly what this path of active hope looks like. First, she endured unimaginable pain, but she never surrendered to it. Second, she just kept moving forward, printing one more flyer, making one more trip. Third, and this part is just so powerful, she found a purpose in helping others, which in turn actually fueled her own search. And finally, the answer came from a direction she never, ever expected. Which really just leaves us with this one last thought. We often talk about hope like it's some fragile, delicate thing. But Li Jingzhi's story shows us it can be the most resilient, toughest force in the universe. A force that can outlast decades of silence and cross any distance to find its way home.